Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Aki Awasab. Today's lesson is entitled, This Truth is Our Covering, and Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. And as always, the sit downs, the lessons, the sheet speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel, the Most High, to use the gospel preach. This truth is our covering. And without this truth, all right, we are looked at as being naked or unclothed. All right. So all those who are outside this truth, they're naked. All right. They don't have the protection against the wiles of Esau, Edom, the wiles of the devil. They don't have the protection, all right, that's going to be needed during Jacob's trouble to be preserved from the said perils. They don't have the protection from famine and pestilence and the love of many waxing cold. They're not going to have that protection. They're not going to have that covering. So this is the word covering. Covering. It says a thing used to cover something else, typically in order to protect or conceal it. All right. So this truth is what protects the elect. And once again, these lessons is for the remnant, the elect of Israel, the Most High. Now, the inspiration from this lesson comes from a precept here in Ecclesiasticus, the 6th chapter. I was actually reading it yesterday and came across a precept, and through the spirit, I thought it was expedient to push the vibration that this is our covering, you know. And you know what? Before I get that in Ecclesiasticus, let's get this in Isaiah 30 real quick. Because if you're taking on another spirit, you're taking on another philosophy, you're taking on a different identity other than the truth, then you're going to be looked at as not having a covering, all right, of the Most High Spirit. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, and pursuant to Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter, the rebellious children of the Israelites. Saith Yahweh, and that's the name of the Heavenly Father when you go into this word Lord, which is all caps here, that take counsel, but not of me. All right, take counsel, going into philosophies, other ways of life, like I said, other identities, other worldly truths. You know, you taking that counsel that's not of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, meaning it's not, you know, of the truth. And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. So the covering is linked to the spirit of the Most High, the counsel, okay, that they may add sin unto sin. So without this covering, you're adding sin to sin, sin to sin. So you're committing iniquity, because that's what iniquity is. Iniquity is sin stacked on sin, that's stacked on sin, that's stacked on sin. So you're going to keep going off, and the wages of sin is death. Romans, the 6th chapter, goes into that. So let's read it from the top. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover what they covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. So basically, if you don't have this covering, you're adding sin unto sin. And like it says here, the spirit, not of my spirit. When you go over here to John, John chapter 6, and this is Apostle John, which is the best friend of our Lord Yahweh Shai, companion with him in tribulation, as it is said, as it is written in Revelation, the 1st chapter. This is John 6 and 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth. See, this truth is what makes you alive. The flesh profited nothing. All right, because this is supposed to build up the inward man. It's supposed to build up the spirit. It's supposed to make your spirit alive. It says, the words that I speak to you, they are spirit and they are life. So if you're not taking on this truth, which is our covering, then you're taking on another spirit. All right. You know, you're taking on another spirit. And going back to the title, This truth is our covering, and we went into the word covering. It says a thing you cover something typically in order to protect or conceal it. Let's look at some of the synonyms here. You know, see jacket, sleeve, it's a covering, right? So let's go to Ecclesiastes 6 and 31. And I'm actually read up a little bit because this goes into wisdom and the many benefits that you receive. All right, let's start the 22nd verse. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifested unto many. Now, wisdom in the Greek, interesting, interesting thing is the word wisdom in the Greek is Sophia, all right, which is a feminine name. You have words like sophisticated, you know. Um, what else? You got words sophisticated. You have uh, it's another word that has those words in it. But once again, wisdom is according to her name, and she's not manifest unto many. So this truth isn't for everybody. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, refuse not my counsel. And remember, we read in Isaiah 30 that if you take account, but not of me, you taking on another philosophy, you taking on a different wisdom. All right. Because with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that's found in the scripts, you can basically filter your whole life through it. All right. And the spirit will lead you and guide you. All right. Once again, give ear, my son, or listen, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, and put thy feet into her fetters and thy neck into her chains. So you want to be held captive to this truth. In fact, Apostle Paul, he said that he was let me see, he was captive. He was captive prisoner. He was a prisoner of Yahushua. Let's see. Uh Maybe Second Corinthians 12. If I can't find it, we're gonna move on. Okay. Let me see something. I'm interested in finding that precept because Apostle Paul said he was a prisoner of Yahushua, meaning he was captive to this, to this, to the wisdom. He was captive to serving the Lord Yahushua. Mm, Let me see, KJV. This is how you find a precept when you're looking for one. Hakim. Just be patient. Ephesians, it's Ephesians, the third chapter. So let's go there. And Ephesians was an epistle to the scattered Israelites that was in Ephesus, right? And pretty much, although it was different churches that Apostle Paul was going to, the message was still the same. That Yahushua came and fulfilled the prophecies, and now the believers, the elect that's scattered, that was under the vibration of Gentiles, now is able to come back to the fold. You know, be patient and continue to work a good work and endure to the end, and you'll receive a reward. That was pretty much the vibration that Apostle Paul was giving to the churches and setting them in order. Ephesians 3 and 1, it says, "For this cause I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahushua Hamashiach, for you Gentiles, which were Israelites that grew up not knowing they was Israelites, and when they heard the doctrine of Yahushua, they believe it and want to come back and listen to more of it." So those were Israelites. It says, "If ye have heard of the dispensation of the grace of the Most High, which is given me to you word, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, as I wrote before in a few words, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Yahushua. So Apostle Peter, he was set up to go to the Gentiles, which were Israelites, and he was given the heavy portion of the Spirit that was um, given unto him, so he can, you know, push his ministry. All right. So we see here that Apostle Paul, he was captive to Yahushua, just as we're captive. So back in Ecclesiastes 6:24, and put thy feet into her fetters and thy neck into her chains. So you want to be captive to this truth, which is us being prisoners of Yahushua. It says, bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. So you gotta, it's gonna be trials and tribulations. It's gonna be chastisements. It's gonna be afflictions and different things, But you just bow the shoulder and bear her. You bear your cross. You deal with whatever you gotta deal with, and don't be grieved. It says, come unto her with thy whole heart. You gotta seek after her. You can't have one foot in the truth and one foot out of the truth. You gotta put your whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. You keep applying this truth to your life. It says, seek and search, and she shall be made known unto thee, because this is our lot. All right, this is our lot. This is our purpose here on earth. You know, so whatever energy you put into this truth, the Lord is going to prosper it, because this is your duty. Seek and search, and she shall be known unto thee. You want to break down or something, you need some information, you want some understanding on the precepts, the Lord will open it up for you, because once again, this is your purpose. And when thou hast got hold of her, let not go. Yeah, you don't want to fall out the truth, because this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest. So Isaiah 28. It says, for at the last thou shalt find her rest, and shall be turned into thy joy. And that's what we experiencing now, because hey, what it's saying, second Edges, the second chapter, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep, but thou shalt rejoice and be merry. You know, so as we enter into the end of Esau's rulership, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is being our joy. Because this is, truth have through the Spirit have forewarned us of these events that will take place on earth. And when you start seeing them coming to pass, you know what I mean? That's going to be a joy. Oh man, the Lord told us this was going to happen. Man, the Lord said it was going to be chariots entering into Egypt. The Lord said Esau was going to come down with great wrath. The Lord told us the MOTB was the chip. Hey, this truth is where you find joy at, comfort. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. So this truth will enable that hedge of protection. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. The chains, this covering. It says, for there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. So we're covered, we're beautified by this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It makes us attractive in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says, my son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, because we've been taught. This is the oracles of the Most High. We have elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this through the Spirit. It says, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. So you apply the things that you learn, and that's the application of knowledge and wisdom is prudence, right? If thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, listening to videos, because scriptures speak about miss not the discourse of the elders, thou shalt receive understanding. Get the understanding of the things that's written in the scripts. And if thou bow down thy ear, thou shalt be wise. You got to humble yourself. You know what it says in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter? When thou come to the house of the Most High, hold thy foot and be ready to hear, than to give the sacrifice of fools, roughly paraphrasing. So, you got to humble yourself when you come to to this truth. Because we don't, prior to this truth, you didn't know shit. You was a Babylonian. And whatever you did know in the scripts, it probably wasn't the correct understanding. So, you got to bow the ear. You got to humble yourself. Stand in the multitude of elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Right? That's self-explanatory. All right, now I'm going to get something over here in Job 29. Because even Job, he mentioned, put on righteousness and it clothed me. Let me see. Yep. See if we can read up. Job 29:14, I put on righteousness and it clothed me. So this truth is a covering. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem, and a diadem is a mitre, right? So this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is supposed to clothe us. Let's see. Let's go over here to Ecclesiastes 27. I know it's one in there in 20. It's like 27 and 9. Yeah, 29 in. This is Ecclesiastes 27, verse 8. If thou followest righteousness, if you in the truth, thou shalt obtain her. You're gonna get what you're looking for. Remember Romans 11 and 7. What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So those that will obtain her or follow after this righteousness, all right, and keep it, is the elect, and put her on as a glorious long robe. So this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is our covering. Now, as I mentioned when opening the video, without this truth, you're naked. Now, Genesis 3 and 7 is going into the story of Adam and Eve. This was the chosen Adam. It says, and the eyes of them were open because they took on the philosophies of the nations that was in the midst of the garden, right? Which they wasn't supposed to, eat of it. They wasn't supposed to get the understanding. They wasn't supposed to take it in and believe it or eat. It says, and they knew that they were naked. They knew that they were in sin. They knew they didn't have that covering no more. They were open. And they sewed fig leaves together and made them aprons, meaning they put on another covering. All right. They had another identity. It wasn't that they was naked and then they ate from a tree and then all of a sudden they knew they was asshole naked and then they went and tried to find clothes and put them on. Nah, they just knew that they was going off. Just like you, when you do shit that's off, you like, man, that was off. Like, man, I ain't supposed to do that. It's the same thing. Let's see. It may be Zephaniah, the first chapter. Zephaniah or Tazapunya in the Hebrew. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 7. Hold thy peace at the presence of Yahweh, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. For Yahweh hath prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guests. Yeah, it's that great sacrifice in Basra that you read about in Isaiah the 34th chapter, where it's going to be animals and sheep, rams, and goats. All right. And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children. All right. 2/3. And such as are clothed with strange apparel, meaning these people that have a different covering on them. You know, they're not covered with the counsel of the Lord. They're not covered with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They're gonna get destroyed. If you're not in the truth, and it's the day of the Lord's wrath, you're gonna get punished. Esau, all right, these nations, they're gonna get destroyed. Let me see something. There was one more I was thinking about. Oh, going back to naked, right? When you go to Exodus 32 and 25, it says this. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, because Moses was in Mount Sinai or Mount Horeb getting the law, the statutes, and commandments. So while he was up there for 40 days, 40 nights, a long period of time. And you know, they pressed Aaron, which Aaron was the brother of Moses, another Levite, and they end up plucking off all their gold, the earrings, and Aaron made him a calf, and they worship him. So this is Moses coming down, which Joshua met him, and told him, "Hey, these people, they going off," you know. So this is where this starts at. Exodus 32:25. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, or they were in sin, they didn't have that covering of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. For Aaron had made them naked, or made them go off, or have them exposed. That's another way. When you're naked, you're exposed. Just like right now with Esau is getting revealed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which are the prophets. So Esau is getting exposed. Isaiah 47, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, pass over the rivers. You know, this Esau is getting exposed. He's getting uncovered. All his sins is coming out, and shameful spewing is coming on Esau. He's naked. And Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. All right. So this truth is our covering. And without this truth, you're naked. You're in sin. You have a shame on you. And the Lord is going to destroy those that's covered with strange apparel. Not that strange apparel don't mean that you're wearing t-shirts and jeans and Nike sweats. It's not talking about that. That strange apparel meaning you covering with another spirit. You got another covering on. You didn't sew fig leaves on. You got a different identity. So I'm going to leave it at that. Lord willing, was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom, Akim, stay strong.